Lots of people are doing last-minute Christmas shopping. Others are enjoying the Hanukkah gifts they received this week. And we can all enjoy the beautiful lights and decorations that surround us at this time of year. But what exactly are we celebrating? Here to discuss the deeper meaning of the holidays is Dr. Zuhdi Jasser of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, the best-selling author whose newest book, Kosher Jesus, comes out next month, and Father Edward Beck, author of Soul Provider, Spiritual Steps to Limitless Love. Great to have all of you with us. Good morning and happy holidays to all of you.
To you too.
So, Father Beck, how do you recommend people stay in more of the spirit of this and keep their mind on what's important about the holiday season?
You know, from a Christian perspective, for me, this feast says you are not alone. You know, so many people have an image of God that is so distant and removed from them, you know, someone who exists somewhere out there. And what this feast, Christmas, celebrates is that God wants to be so intimate with us that is born as a homeless refugee. I mean, who can identify with every person? And so when people are struggling, as they are right now with the economy and joblessness and all of the stuff that can bring people down this time of year, we say we have a God who's one with us, who's born among us. And I think to focus on that dimension really helps us feel not so alone. A lot of people feel alone.
Rabbi Shmuley, a lot of people, you know, this time of year, it's happy holidays. It's holidays, plural. How do you feel about that? And do you think that there are sort of things that cross over in all religions that people can take note of this time of year?
Well, I wouldn't have written a book called Kosher Jesus if I didn't believe that. Jesus was a Jew, and he brings the spiritual message of togetherness to all nations. But it begins with this Jewish message that, as Father Beck said, God is among us. But he expresses himself through people. You know, I feel that this time of year, when it comes to the holidays, we make the mistake of thinking that objects give happiness. All the stuff we're buying is going to be on eBay next week. You know, it has a shelf life, and it only brings temporary happiness. But the moments that you spend with family and friends during this period, that's going to be eternal. Those memories are going to stay with you forever, and it costs absolutely nothing. So you have to just decommercialize it a little bit. I mean, the presents are important, but the greatest gift is the gift of self, and I think that's the most important holiday message.
Dr. Jasser, I see you shaking your head in agreement.
Yeah, I mean, I have to tell you, we had our biggest holidays, Ramadan in August, and then our holiday of the holiday of the sacrifice in November. And it's with the children. I have children that are 9, 7, and 3, and it's hard to sometimes, with all the pressures of especially the Christian holiday, with the majority celebrating it, to remind them that they're out actually celebrating the same things we did in our holiday. It's about submission. It's about giving everything you can to your life, to your neighborhood, to your community, and to your nation, to remember to renew from within. It's almost about rebooting your relationship with God. And I think what happens is we get too sucked into this concept of religion, organized religion and holidays as part of a secularized, materialistic focus rather than about faith, about getting closer to God. It's too bad as we have Twitter and Facebook, that we don't have a God app that reminds us to be personal in our relationship with God, so that we come together and remember what it is to be a community that shares a lot of values but also has differences that we remember.
I see you both shaking your head in agreement.
Well, I have a God app.
You do?
Yeah, my new book is the God app.
I got to download that.
No, but Zuhdi's absolutely right. Like, the fact is that we're not a very spiritual society anymore. Now, what do we mean by spiritual? These are words that they're so abstract that they don't really have meaning. The spiritual simply means that there are things that can't be seen, can't be touched, that can only be experienced. And they're the most valuable things in the world. Look at love. No one has ever seen love, touched love, but you've experienced love. Things like electricity, no one's seen it, but it powers everything around us. That's the message, that you have these things that can't be put on a credit card. And you're supposed to recalibrate and rediscover true values. America needs a resurgence of values, and that's what we're supposed to focus around this time of the year. We work less, so we have more time for kids. And Christmas dinner should not be an annual experience. You should have dinner with your kids several times a week. There's no excuse. Because the only regret you're going to have is that it's not that you didn't buy the great in-style gift that year. Who even remembers Tickle Me Elmo today, you know? What you're going to regret is that you neglected your relationships, because that's what really brings richness in life.
Father Beck, how do you incorporate this then into your everyday life and not just make it about, oh, we're celebrating the holidays, so we're going to focus on it for this moment?
Well, one of the things I think is to not beat people up and give them more to do at the holidays. You know, sometimes I find, so we have Christmas Mass, and more people would come than usual. Mm-hmm. You know, you may not see them all year, and they show up at Christmas. And some pastors get in the pulpit and say, well, where are you the rest of the year? And, you know, how can we just come at Christmas? And they make it a poor experience. Rather, it's up to us as clergy people to make it an experience of love, of community, of celebration. We are supposed to be spiritual leaders who help during this time of year to help people make the connections. I mean, people have busy lives. They are shopping, and they do have kids to tend to, and there's a lot on their plates. So your religion shouldn't be one more. It should be something that says, but your life is also about more than that, and we want to get you to that deeper place. We want to help you get there. And, service is supposed to be about that. Mass is supposed to be about that. It shouldn't become one more thing to do, and I think the more attractive we make it, the better for people's lives it is.
And I do think one of the things that happens with holidays is they become balkanized, and that one faith takes ownership of that. And we forget, and I know as a Muslim in our holidays, it's really hard struggling with our kids to tell them this is our holiest day of the year when the rest of society isn't really paying that much attention. And same thing I would imagine for a lot of the Christian community. You see a lot of the materialistic aspects, but less spirituality. And I think one of the things to do to remember, to remind kids, is that this is a country under God. Our founding fathers remembered the place of God and faith, but did not necessarily talk about religion and organized aspects of it. And I think that's what we need to remember, that we come together as a community and shared values and spirituality.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Happy holidays, the all-inclusive holidays to all of you.
Thank you.